So what's up, pair of people? I'm Mahalaxmi, your grid girl minus the glitter. Full-on F1 nerd who treats every weekend like a Grand Prix. I've got tire strategies in my head, DRS zone in my heart, and I emotionally pit stop every time a driver pulls their visor off in slow-mo. I don't watch just the race, I feel the undercut, read the formation lap, and yes, I cry when the national anthem plays on the board. If you're into post-race gossip, radio drama, or just here for champagne showers and chaos, buckle up. I'm your co-host, and you didn't know you needed.
Abhuday, would you like to introduce yourself now?
Yeah, my name's Abhuday, and I'm a F1 nerd for the podcast. And as always, on Sundays, don't interrupt me when I'm watching the race. I will not talk to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Vasu. I'm from SAE. And despite being a second year mechanical student, the only thing I know about F1 is that cars go boing very fast.
Hello, guys. I'm Hirak Parekh. I'm from BBC, and I like everything which has speed, from cars to guns to airplanes and to movies which have fast cars. I may be late at certain events and certain places, but be sure I'll be in a fast car. And so now let's get started with this podcast. Lights out, and away we go.
Yeah.
So today we are here to discuss the movie F1, the very, very recent and very amazing movie F1. So tell me, how were you feeling during this movie? Did you watch it in the theaters or did you watch it in your laptop at home or how?
I mean, so obviously I watched it in theater, and yeah, I did rewatch it in laptop as well because it was really amazing. It just was mind blowing for me to watch it. What about you guys?
So I watched it in the theater as well, first day for sure. And I have got to say that this was uh, one of those movies that gives you chills, like makes you want to be a driver, and it's just overall amazing movie.
Yeah, I also watched this in the theaters, and I have to say this movie did spark my interest in F1. Before this, I'll be honest with all of you, I just used to think that there's a 20 cars going in circles again and again. How hard could it be, or how interesting could it be? But this movie changed my POV.
So for me as a cinemaphile, firstly I watched it in the theaters. Then again I watched it in at my room with meticulous details to figure out every single Easter egg and every single detail. There are many references, many cameos. Like in the final race scene, there was one frame cameo of Chris Hemsworth, if you might have noticed or not. Then there are other
Yeah.
cameos like Lewis Hamilton's dog appearing in the movie before him himself. So there is a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of small bits and things here and there, which only F1 nerds do understand. And there are also many things which are very much realistic, which happen in F1, which are also shown in the movie. Like our dear Sunny, when he first gets into F1, he does the neck training scene, which is very, very important and very, very true. It happens in F1 athletes. So, what do you think about that?
So, as the F1 nerd, I can say that that is very real. It is something that all the drivers have to do because of the G forces that they go through just by going through the turns. It makes their necks sore, and through years of practice, their necks are actually much more wider than ours. And yeah, it's real, and it's actually good that they showed. It shows you how what a real driver does. It's not just a
Actually,
fame and
yeah, I
glory.
would also like to add upon to this. Like, maybe this G4 sounds something very normal, but actually it's equivalent to that of an astronaut. So these F1 drivers are not just normal humans, they have to go through so much of endurance to get that strength in their neck. You cannot just smash a cake on their face on their birthdays because you won't be able to move their necks.
So basically, it's like the real version of "Aaj bhai tera gaadi chalayega." गाड़ी
Yeah, you
चलाएगा
could
ही
say
नहीं,
that.
गाड़ी उड़ाएगा भी. That is how much they are trained for, right?
Yeah.
And the locations too. The locations were so beautiful in this movie. Like so many shots
Exactly.
of
They
the
use
track itself are from the actual locations.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
even
went to
the
real
F1
tracks,
tracks
all
have been used.
through real races. Getting
Yeah.
Yeah,
that purpose
even
of
And the shooting
Formula
is
One to on the track simply
crazy, crazy. I don't think
unbelievable.
so. There has been any movie who has had such amazing access to the tracks before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We got to see all the
exactly.
real drivers doing their real races.
Yeah. And it's not just the tracks, the Apex training facility. Actually, it is the McLaren Technology Center, which was used to make the SLR McLaren, my favorite car. Yeah. What do you think about the other technical details, how they portrayed DRS, pit stops, and the inter-team racing? Like two drivers of the same team competing for the same position. What do you think about that?
since I'm not an F1 nerd, I'm not sure if all of that happens or not. But during the race, there was a time when the pit stop happened in 2.9 seconds. That reminded me of
Yeah.
the time when, yeah, that reminded me of the time in cars when that small car just pit stops at fut, 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 and then blows air through his, that whatever machine that is called.
Actually, yeah, pit stops are a really important part of an F1 race. Like, fun fact is like every wheel has its own mechanic and a gunner, and only best teams like Ferrari, Red Bull, they can only pull off a very perfect pit stop. And it was great when Apex CP also performed it less than 3 seconds. That was really
First time I heard and understood the concept of pit stops and why exactly is it so necessary. I also got to know that there are three type of tires, like soft tires, hard tires. And I was like, what do these mean? Like hard, soft, what is that exactly? Then I understood, okay, different softness for different traction, etc., etc. Then I was like, soft tires are soft and hard tires are hard. So let's add that to the words of wisdom.
yeah. You should like it's a
Only
very
true
good
F1
strategy that is
fans know
planned
this
before.
reference.
Right?
The trophies are also very pretty, aren't they?
Yeah,
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 they're
but
all
actually,
custom
it's
made
they
by
are
people,
handmade.
and
Oh,
each track has their own trophies. Imagine every year,
crazy.
mostly it's different. It's
But
a
then,
whole
do they
magic
let the winners take it home? Or is it like, 2020 वाला जो क्रिकेट का मैच होता है कि okay, you take the photos and then you keep it back for the next year?
I think it's the same, but the team gets to keep the trophies in most cases. I mean,
Yeah, the
it's all
team gets to keep it.
Uh, but then they only keep it if it is not broken during the celebration.
in the driver's contract.
I
Means
think you're giving the
Yeah,
reference from the 2023 Hungarian GP.
yeah.
exactly
Yeah, where Lando
That
there
Norris
is
champagne
broke
bottle did
different
so much
trophies.
damage.
Verstappen's. Yeah, and that too, he broke
Crazy, crazy.
Verstappen's trophy. That was crazy.
Yeah,
But then talking about
it doesn't let
trophies
him get
and the
trophies
Generation X that is clearly shown in the movie, the difference between JP and Sunny, how they are from different generations, very, very beautifully portrayed. So do you think that in Generation Z, people really, just work for the participation trophy? They just participate, they have fun, and they're just happy with that. They don't really try like to chase or to win. What do you think about that?
yeah, I'd like to
Yeah,
answer
I
this
think we
one.
all do chase participation
Yeah,
certificates. To be honest, even I do. I just participate in many hackathons, even though I don't know stuff, just to get participation certificate. So yeah, that was very well portrayed by JP. Even after he lost the first initial match, he was just going and posing there, and we can see Sony coming and scolding him like, what have you won? Why are you posting and all? So that tells the maturity of Sony. Like that Sony doesn't give a damn about whatever the PR is going to tell about him.
yeah, I believe that Gen Z is the most superficial generation to ever exist. And the only thing we do is flex. Nah, I'll be honest, I have friends, I've seen the movie and everything, whatever you see, how much ever you defend Gen Z, At the end, at the core, it is the most superficial generation. We don't do stuff because we like it. We do stuff because others think we like it and we will deem us as cool, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, even
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Could
movie,
you give
like
some examples of such
during
things
that.
that you do?
So, since this is a public platform, I can't disclose everything. But let's just say that a group of friends went on a certain trip and did some stuff. And my friend, who did not wasn't even involved in all of that, just took photos of us, made snaps, and made it sent it to everybody he knew. And then next day we saw his snaps and told her to delete it. So yeah,
I mean, as a person who is addicted to Snapchat, I can confirm I'm also like that. I would have also done that. So yeah, this generation is kind of pretty messy.
Even in the movie,
Crazy.
you can see that during that poker scene, JP was checking his phone to see all the fame. It's all just
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he was more interested in the crowd. He was more interested in getting attention to himself more than racing, more than even playing poker. Who was going to decide about the primary drivers, right? So
I
I
think
agree
even
Yeah.
his manager
definitely.
also played a very important role for that.
Yeah, his manager definitely was shown in the uh they tried to show it in the positive light, but if you see something like this happening in real life, you would
That
realize that it's
manager was
not
really
definitely
a
right.
ridiculous person in the movie. Like, I don't think so in real life any F1 driver would have such an influence with him. So maybe that was just to have a funny aspect in the movie or something. But yeah, that
I
shows
think
that
that
manager of
character,
JP shows.
yeah, I think that
Yeah,
character really shows you the difference between someone being good to you and someone being good for you.
yeah,
yeah,
it was little gaslighting.
exactly. I would say that JP's mom was the person who was good for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially, yeah,
Yeah,
especially
she
after
was.
the accident
Obviously, every
when she
mom
scolded
is.
Sonny. Yeah, obviously, but just to differentiate between people good for you and good to you. But speaking
So,
about
Yeah.
talking about
good,
this,
yeah,
uh, should we talk about the Lucky Charm? Used and portrayed very well in this movie. What do you think about Lucky Charm?
Yeah,
I
there are
believe that
quite a few,
everybody
like
has
the
their own
playing
set.
card.
Yeah, the playing cards, the mismatched
Yeah. So
socks.
why do you think Sony kept doing that ritual? Is it like,
Vasul, what do you
okay,
think?
maybe because if I do it, I won a match, so that I just do it. Is it like that, or does it have any significance? I'm really not.
See, I'm not an F1 nerd. I don't know much about F1, but what I know about people from my experience of 19 years, I'll say that I believe that once in a while, when in his racing career, he just somebody gave him a random card and told him not to look at it until he won the race or finished the race. And it must have been some specific card, for example, the King of Hearts or anything, any card. And he just keeps it. He just took it and raced. That's obviously my theory. There's nothing of that in the movie. And he raced, and he might have won. And that is how he started his own ritual of always taking a card, completing the race, and then looking at it afterwards.
Now, the F1 nerd of you there, what do you think? Is there some technical relation to this, or is it actually just, uh, stereotypes or just, black magic almost?
And I think that is the main reason he got into poker to start with. And I think that poker mindset, he used that and thought that, oh, if I get a right card, I'll be able to win a race someday and complete his dream after 3 decades of not racing.
It might
Crazy.
also be
So connecting
possible.
poker with racing. Oh,
Yeah. It might also
that's
be quite possible that because his dad loved gambling, he always took a card just to feel his dad's presence with him during the race.
Or
brilliant,
maybe it also
brilliant way
symbolically,
of putting
to
it.
show how these drivers bluff to each other or read each other's and play their odds, take risks. Maybe it can also symbolize these things. I mean, just a
Yeah.
theory. So
Yeah, but then that really gives the character a very, a very specific aura in today's words. I think
Yeah, it
I
does.
think the character of Sunny is very, very comparable to James Bond. Like driving fast cars, playing poker and always winning, doing things to very hot girls, and then just winning everything at once. I think it's very, very heavily inspired from James Bond.
I agree with you.
Like he
Yeah,
doesn't
I
touch
agree.
his trophies, but he definitely got a trophy, might I say.
Yeah, rewards in many, many ways.
Yeah,
He got what he came for.
probably what gave him the incentive to win.
So I think just because of that one incident that they had, I think the technician will give Sunny a faster car as a reward or repayments of certain services.
Might be possible,
I mean,
quite
or
possible.
is it is just to keep up their deal, no? In the initial, like the kind of date scene, they had a deal, if you remember, like where he'll be saying,
Yeah,
you have to change the aerodynamics of the car in order for me to complete and like be closer to the other teams. He'll be like, "You first, I'll listen to you when you finish the race." I think it's just her way of keeping up the deal, and yeah, she did.
yeah. But the trope was very interesting. It was a proper enemies to lovers trope, and I think it was done very beautifully without actually, intertwining with the main theme of the movie. Like in Bollywood,
Yeah,
they
that was
really,
really good.
put together
Uh,
two love songs and make them fall in love. It was not very much that. It was very much two different tracks.
yes, it was pretty much a
Yeah,
side
I
quest.
think I saw it coming,
Yeah.
but I really think I saw it
Side
coming
quest,
because
it was a very
when
beautiful one.
yeah, like in the introduction, like when Sony comes to the APX GP wala, like when they're practicing the track and everything, at that moment you can see the technician actually, maybe having a glance at him in a way that okay, probably she's interested in him or she's finding him attractive, something like that. So yeah, if you notice that, maybe you would have seen this coming.
Yeah. But then talking about the girls, like she was not the only girl who caught the attention in the entire movie. Did you see any other girls?
Yeah, can you introduce me to
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz?
Oh my
Oh
god,
my god,
that
that
line.
was crazy. That was crazy.
I think
Well,
I'm
like,
I
sure
mean, if I
Mahalakshmi
was
can
there, I
relate
would have
to
also
that.
done it.
well, like, don't you think that is the main reason why, so many people are getting pulled to F1 right now?
Yeah, actually, pretty much
I
like
guess so.
most of my friend circle, like especially the women, they join F1 only for Ferrari, because they got hot drivers. And sadly, no, Ferrari lost Carlos. I mean, it's not sadly, he's still there. People are still going to support Williams now that he joined Williams. So yeah,
I'm not
it's
sure
true
if
that.
Carlos will see this vlog or not, but Carlos, I'm there for you, okay? I'm always there for you. I'm loyal for you. Please come to me.
Yeah, smooth operator is never out of style.
You are my smooth operator, Carlos.
Yeah, but talking about F1 so much, I actually want to know, like, since I'm not an F1 nerd, I don't know much about F1. Is that the crash in the movie or the movie actually realistic, or did they Hollywoodize it a lot?
right. So
It was it
it's
was a
actually
reference of
based
a
on a
real
real scene.
incident. Yeah,
So
you go on, you go on.
both the crashes, one for JP and one of Sonny Hayes, that was shown in the first scene. They both are actually inspired from real events. The car flying, that is something that people said is too unrealistic, but that is what happened in Monza only, with Alex Peroni in Formula 3 back in 2019. So I was actually shocked that they included that. And even his car burning, but him making out of it, that was also inspired by Roman Grosjean in back in 2020
Yeah,
when
that
he had
that
that
real
massive
incident was
crash.
really terrifying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even Sonny Hayes accident was based on a real one. So Martin Donnelly in 1995, that footage of his ankle
Yeah, it was during the
being
Spanish Grand Prix,
bone
na?
breaking. That was real, absolutely real. I think it's a
Yeah,
good
and it
way
was
to pay respects
so bad,
to
and
him.
they have really portrayed it really good.
Yeah, it's a good way to pay respect to a career that should not have ended this early.
I'm just getting goosebumps while you were telling about all this.
But like, what do you think? Are there people who attend the event live just to see a crash, or like they hope a crash happens because it's so cool and it's so it gets into the history so much? Like in NASCAR, I've really
I
seen
mean,
that happen. Like people go and sit in the front so that they can collect parts that come off of the cars when they crash. Do you think that's true in F1 also?
that an
People
actual
like me are
true
the fan
F1
pit, I'm sure it's
follower
true.
wouldn't do that, because they know how risky and life-taking it would be if something happens to the drivers. So maybe in the movie it was just fun to watch Sony just go and crash, just to get the safety car in and to make an advantage for himself and his team. That was maybe it was a good
Yeah.
strategy in movies, but that wouldn't happen in real life. What do you think, Abhyuday?
I think this has happened. If you destroy a car on purpose, you get disqualified. Back in
Yeah,
2008,
that's what. But in the movie, he
he
wasn't disqualified.
he wasn't disqualified. He finished the race, so he got his upgrades to the car. But actually, if you do that, it's actually very illegal. You get banned from Formula One. Your team gets banned from Formula One. So this has happened in
Really?
2008.
Uh, yeah, being said that each and every car costs millions of dollars, so you
Yeah,
wouldn't want to just crash it for fun or for 1 or 2 points,
exactly.
right?
I mean, Ruben was in debt of 350 million, and this guy is just crashing like it's nothing.
Yeah, so plan C, huh? Chaos.
Yeah,
Vasu लिखे तो like crashing the car would be fun na.
Yeah, I am all for crashing. I'm the person who crashed this car into DLS.
So
Sounds
अगर
fun, but
if they remake a
when you are
F
out there knowing that you might die at the same time of driving at almost 300 kilometer per hour speed. I don't think so. That's probably a best idea to die. Your body would be shattered and like into pieces. So your family won't even find your remains. Do
well
you want
Yeah,
that
I'm not.
then
happen to you?
I
at 300
cannot live off an
kilometer at
overthinker.
300 kilometer per hour logic actually disappears. So yeah.
Exactly.
Well, maybe it disappears for us, but it's an interesting fact that they can't even blink, and most of the F1 drivers blink during the same time because they have to concentrate on the road, like the turns and everything. And if they blink
But
during the
what
turns,
if
they're
they
gonna
have to
either
sneeze
crash.
really hard?
You can't. If you sneeze, you die. What do you do?
Crazy.
So being
But
an
then
F1 driver is a lot. It's very difficult. Yeah, go on.
As a cinemaphile, obviously they wouldn't include sneezes and such details like blinking. But
Like,
then the audio design was so amazing. Like when the race happened, when Sunny did not have his card, when he forgot his card, the entire sound design changed so much to emphasize that something was missing, something was wrong because of that new part insertion that FI did not approve, the things were going wrong and it was so clear. The entire sound design is so amazing. Even the sounds of the cars
Yeah, it
are
was so
so
good.
well recorded and so well put together.
Yeah, the depiction was
Amazing,
crazy. I
amazing.
almost felt like I'm watching a real GP, except it was not for 2 hours.
And also one amazing thing, like this movie was made by Apple TV, so they did not release the entire movie on Apple TV, but they released the trailer on Apple TV. So if you see the trailer of this movie on an iPhone, you will see your iPhone literally vibrating to give you the haptics of the vibration of an iPhone car. It's so amazing how tech is, giving such amazing experiences to us.
Now that you talked about
Indeed, yeah.
Apple, didn't you notice that there were no Apple watches in the entire movie? Like only mechanical watches.
Yes, and I loved
Yes,
that.
yes, yes.
I loved that.
Exactly. It just maintains a class of Sony, even though like they could literally afford anything because they have Apple cameras inserted at every car wherever possible. And still they didn't have an Apple Watch. Why do you think so?
Because
I
I
think because the
think
drivers
they're
don't
really
want to be
trying to show
distracted.
the characters. You go on.
Uh, I was just saying that the drivers don't want to get distracted while driving with notifications.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody wants to get
Seeing that your
notifications while
garage
they're
door
driving at
opened
300
while you're
kilometer per
trying
hour.
to overtake someone would be quite distracting.
Imagine your girlfriend's breaking up with you mid race.
Oof. Then you put in Atif
Exactly.
Aslam songs and you break a PR. That's what you do when your girlfriend breaks up during an F1 match.
But that
Crazy.
is the reason why you fly cars.
Yes.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
But then is it too unrealistic? Like what do you think? The details that were shown in the movie, were they too vague or like were they too Hollywoodized in the movie?
Well, a little bit, yeah, but not much. Actually, they have depicted it pretty well. Most of the incidents they have tried to recreate were real incidents, which might seem impractical. Like the car just flew away off the track. I think in the Hungarian GP, na, in the movie, like
Yeah,
JP had to change his tires because of the weather or whatever, but he was forced by his team to not change the tires. Stuff like that happen in real life. So I don't think so. It was so much, cinemata cinematography was used a lot. It was just the things that happen in real.
yeah. I believe that the movie was more about sportsmanship and how Sunny trained JP rather than it was technical, so that people like me, for example, are able to keep up with the movie. It's like because we
Yeah.
don't know much technical stuff, but I still thoroughly enjoyed the movie because they did include a little bit of technicalities. I mean, but it was not in so in depth that I need to do a thesis before watching the movie, like you need to do with Oppenheimer.
Yeah. And I think the whole movie could be categorized into the coming to age movie as clearly depicted in the last one of the last dialogues of It's Your Team Now. It really
And
shows
yeah,
the succession of power and responsibilities and in a very way that too. Like JP showed first as a, almost bratty Gen Z person who, you know, does not care about the actual races, just wants media coverage. But then later in the movie, he's shown team building and really caring about the sport. It's a very fitting coming to age movie.
yeah, and even if you notice when you talk to his mother, or when Sunny just joined the team. At that time, he was focused on what Sunny is doing and what all the rest of the world is doing. But by the time the movie came to an end and during the last race, it was about he and what he can do for himself and the team. He lost that selfishness and became selfless for the team. He became one with the team.
Yeah.
That was
And
really well
also about
portrayed
the
actually in the movie.
Also about the character selection is so amazing. Like Brad Pitt is perfect for this role. Also the manager.
He doesn't
Have you
look
seen the
50 at all.
manager
Let me
anywhere
tell you, he
else?
looks.
Exactly. Have you seen the manager in some other movie? It's a very popular franchise.
I think he was the guy who played Salazar in Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yes. Captain Salazar in Pirates of the
Oh,
Caribbean. Brilliant guy.
Yeah.
okay.
Like speaking of Pirates of Caribbean, their theme songs and was like perfect for them. And even in F1, I could not imagine any other audio being related to this. I think Hans Zimmer did a great job. And
Yes.
what's the other guy? That song that I don't want to lose my mind. I think that was pretty awesome in the introduction scene. This was
Yeah.
overall a great movie song selection. But I
So
do
as a
think
At
person
that
the
who
end,
don't watch F1, okay, go on, go on, go on.
I think they really left us on a cliffhanger of what that card was at the end. Do you think there's a
Yeah,
hint to show what card that was?
I don't know, but if my theory of the thing that he started it once, like the first card, I have a feeling that if that theory is true, then the card he picked up will be the same card that he picked up the very first time.
very
Any
good
other
theory.
my
theories
thing is that it could either be the seven of spades that was in all over his race suit,
on his shoulder?
or
Yeah,
it could be the ace of spades, showing that he finally won. Right? It could be related to that. These are
could
my
be,
two
could be.
So
theories.
as
I
a person
don't know which one.
who doesn't watch F1, did this movie inspire you to actually, continue or like, resume or okay, what is the correct word? To start your journey in F1? What? What do you mean?
And to be honest, this movie inspired me to watch Ford versus Ferrari and Rush both. And after that, I have a very great interest in F1. I am about to start watching all of it. Although I don't know where to start, but I'm sure I have a lot of friends who teach me and help me grow.
Wobble, wobble, slide to the beat.